Welcome back to E-Rodic the brand. Hi, my name is Eden Lee. I'm your host here and your favorite dating and sex coach. Today we're going to get into, I know, you guys fucking love when I talk about sex and I love that you guys eat it all up. It's usually so good, but today it's going to be a little nasty. We're going to giggle a little bit. We're going to get a little nauseous. We're going to feel heard and seen and felt and a little bit exposed because these are the things that happen in bed that nobody talks about. The nasty parts of sex. And, generally sex is quite nasty. It's meant to be very animalistic to a certain degree. We're naked. We're getting wet. We're getting sweaty. We're getting stinky. There's fluids. There's just a bunch of shit going on. Literally and figuratively sometimes, okay? I'm going to talk about the things that can go wrong, quote unquote, in bed. But mind you, it's not anything that actually is considered wrong or bad or not normal. It's actually very normal. And yes, a lot of this is from experience. So I'm really putting myself out here. And if you're going to fucking think it's gross or be a little child, it's probably past your bedtime and you probably shouldn't be on this side of the internet. Okay. Let's start off with a queefing moment. It happens. And I'm here to blame the man. Okay. Queefing is when essentially an air bubble, and I'm going to really dumb this down, but I will put all of the descriptions on the blog post that corresponds to this episode. If you want to check that out, it's e-rodicthebrand.com. Just as I spelled it out for you, just as I said it is exactly what you type into your browser, and you shall see it on there. Queefing is essentially when an air bubble gets stuck inside of your vajayjay, okay? And it's because he's, stretched you out as he's slid out of you, and it happens. And so the sound that it makes sounds like a farting sound, but it comes from your vagina. There is no odor that is associated with it. There is nothing wrong with you if you queef. It's natural and it's normal. And so I'm going to tell you guys a personal story. And just how I had to embrace the moment, because here's the thing, when you're put in these positions, you just got to embrace it. All right. It is a privilege to have sex with one another. It is extremely vulnerable. We've taken that element of intimacy and how special and how nerve-wracking it is for everybody involved in that moment. We've taken that out and just been like, oh, it's so normalized and it's just like so fucking casual. But this is the problem. When things like this happen that we don't expect, or because porn, it's not really, unless you're watching like the fetish side of things or whatever, that this is not normal. This is weird. So we start to feel uncomfortable about it. I once was in bed with a guy and he pulled out randomly. And as he was pulling out, he kind of like pressed down on me, and so I was queefing, and every time I moved, my vagina decided to have a full-blown fucking conversation. All right. And it was uncomfortable because I couldn't hide it with a cough or like whatever. And I told myself, you know what? Fuck this. Why am I hiding this? Like, it's a vagina, bitch. You're lucky to be entering it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to own it and be like, oh my God, like you pulled out too quick or like whatever. So I kind of low-key blamed him, but like, it is what it is. Like, what can I do? You know what I mean? Like, it just happens. You can just even admit if you don't feel comfortable, like that wasn't my butt. Like, I did not fart. Okay. I did not fart. It's just, it happens when there's air caught in my vagina, and maybe we need to like pull out better or like put in better, take it easy, take it slow. Queefing, there's really nothing you can do to avoid it or prevent it. It's just certain positions for some people more susceptible to queefing. But that doesn't mean you should be avoiding it at all costs just because you're scared of that. Grow fucking up. All of you, ladies and gentlemen, grow the fuck up. It's a queef, okay? It's not coming from her butt. Like, I get how farting is a little bit, we feel uncomfortable, but we're all human. It's not like we all haven't fucking done it. So shut up. Don't pretend like you don't. Ladies, don't say that you don't fucking shit. We know that you do. Probably sometimes worse than men, because the ladies' washroom always smells 10 times worse than a man's washroom. And don't ask me how I know what a man's washroom smells like. If it ruins his mood, he is not a good sexual partner. That's all I'm going to say, because the man that I had this experience with was just kind of like giggled it off with me and totally ignored it and like fucked me like nothing ever happened a second later. So that's how you deal with it. And you can always low-key shame your partner back if they start to fucking shame you about something that is totally out of your control and something that shouldn't be made fun of or made you feel awkward. In fact, it's probably because of the way he maneuvered your vagina that created air bubbles, and now you're fucking queefing. So that's on you, Johnny boy. Discharge. I mean, this is like, a lot of this is just targeted to my ladies, and men, you can totally chime in down below in the comments and let me know if there's anything that's super embarrassing if you got the balls. I once told a story on a different channel about my discharge experience. when I was younger and I think I was going through hormonal changes or something, like still within the legal age, okay? Because when I say younger, I feel like some of you guys think wild things. But I had a lot more discharge around this time, and at certain parts of the month too, based off of our cycle, we might have more discharge, which is normal. Our vagina is a self-cleaning machine, really. Like we bleed once a month. We clean ourselves out, and that's honestly the beautiful part of being a woman. Sorry guys, like when do you guys have your like self-cleaning moment? Sometimes discharge is a sign of infection, a yeast infection, all that stuff. Most of these things are not contagious. However, if you are concerned about the amount of discharge, the smell, the color, the texture, not only should you do your own research, but you should definitely speak to your doctor and ask a professional and do testing. You know, do a urine sample, do a blood test, do whatever you need to do. Have safe sex. I mean, honestly, just rule all of that out if you are concerned. But discharge is completely normal. Sometimes there's excessive amounts and sometimes there's less. It should not smell foul, okay? However, if you're fucking and there's discharge on his dick, say thank you, baby. Extra lubricant, extra, grip, extra whatever. Like, fucking own it. There is nothing wrong with a little bit of discharge. I once was having a very dischargey day. I had no idea, and I was having sex, and he pulled out, and I was about to go down on him, and I see a chunk of discharge on his dick, and I was so embarrassed because I was a lot younger, and I was in panic mode that I put that whole thing in my mouth and licked it off because I didn't want him to see. The embarrassment behind it and the shame that we feel about ourselves because we're worried about what the guy is going to say just goes to show how we almost instinctually know how uneducated the guy is about sex or the woman's body. And that's a sign for concern. Like, that is not acceptable. That is not okay. If you're having sex with somebody, they should know these things, that these things do happen, and that a lot of times it is very normal and it's totally okay. So if he fucking sees the discharge on his dick, let him fucking see it. That's my woman's body, baby. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Let's wipe it off and let's get back to fucking. If that's not the mentality or the attitude you have in the bedroom with this partner, then there's something wrong with both of you and you should not be fucking each other, period. Go find someone who's more mature, who's better than this little bitch boy, okay? Like, honestly, I'm cutting to the fucking chase. If my man ever made me feel uncomfortable about things like that I had no control over, that is just like my bodily functioning, like my body's just functioning, baby, then I would honestly just tell him to go fuck himself. Because here's the thing, like, again, it is a privilege to be having sex with me. It is a privilege that we're fucking. It is an extremely vulnerable moment. Do not ever make me feel uncomfortable in these moments, okay? Because this will then create a really bad experience in my head, and going forward, I'm going to be very uncomfortable having sex with you and other partners. It always comes down to this. Pick your sexual partners wisely. You guys are way too fucking casual, and so then when you have little scarring moments in the bedroom because you haven't vetted this person out, because you haven't taken the time to get to know them, honestly, a lot of it is your doing and your fault, okay? You have to take some accountability as to who you allow in your fucking bedroom, who you allow to enter your body or near your fucking body. How to go about discharge, my friends. Do what you want to do. If you're just okay with him shoving it back inside of you, great. Make sure you piss after you have sex always, and make sure you shower and keep it clean, my love. That's all I have to say. Personally, what I would do going forward, besides that one moment when I was really uncomfortable, insecure, and not knowledgeable about my own body, I would just have Kleenex and wipe it down and then fuck him. And like, act totally normal about it. If you start to feel awkward or act awkward, they're going to be like, oh, this is weird. Oh, like there's something wrong. Because a woman knows her body better than a man does, period. So if you act like, oh my God, this is so strange, this is so weird, he's also going to low-key freak out because he's like, what the fuck is this on my body, on my dick? Is this normal? Is this contagious? Are you sick? Is there like something going on? Do you have an STD? Like, people start to freak out in those moments too. So just being reassuring and being like, totally normal, discharge that time of month. Sometimes it happens. Like, it is what it is. Fully healthy, blah, blah, blah. Clean it and good to go. Then you're good. Again, there's different strokes for different folks. Just because the, average Joe Schmo, who's like, honestly, such a boring fuck anyways. The average Joe Schmo probably is like, oh my God, what the fuck is discharge? Oh my God, what is that on my dick? Like, some guys actually find it really hot. They're like, yes. Like, in a way, it kind of satisfies them in their head. Like, okay, men come, women don't like actually ejaculate. So this for them is like, oh, something from inside of her is coming out. It's like hot to them. They have this sort of concept or idea about discharge that can be sexy to them. So not every person is going to freak out, okay? So I'm bringing this up because I know that the vast majority of women and men might feel some type of way about these things in the bedroom. However, not everybody is that fucking childish and immature. Let's talk about the butt. Okay, one of my favorite topics. Anal poop is real. Anal poop happens, and you can be so prepared and so clean, but it can still happen. A butthole is a butthole. A butthole secretes the toxins, okay? And the toxins are in little forms of poopies, okay? And that's just how it works. And when you're shoving something up there, there is a chance. There always is a chance. You can do shit away. You can starve yourself. You can do all this stupid shit. Your butt is, the poop chute. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So just embrace it. And if you're going to give him your pristine little butthole, then he better be fucking thankful and shut the fuck up. And if there is something, he better deal with it like a champ. If you are worried about that, wear a condom. Lube it up, wear a condom, end of story. Porn will show that anal is supposed to be this clean thing, that a woman's butthole or a man's butthole, whatever way you guys fucking go, is supposed to be like this clean thing. And if it's not, and if there's like a little bit of shit or streakiness, that this person's not clean. And I'm bringing it on me. Like, guys, honestly, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm taking one for the fucking team. But I am a very clean person. Like, I know half of you guys don't fucking wash your ass after you shit, but like I always do. I have to. I can't shit and like not wash. Like wet wipes, worst case scenario, get in the shower after. Like I need to be clean for myself, not just for sex, but for myself. And so, you can douche, you can do what you need to do. And I've made a video on this. I don't really like to destroy all of the bacteria in my butt. I want to make sure that I'm healthy and that I keep everything intact the way it's meant to be. And so I don't often opt for douching or enemas or shit like that are honestly unhealthy when you constantly do them or if you do them a lot. But at the end of the day, if I've done all of that and if I'm a clean person, everything else is out of my control. Sometimes you just got to own it. Like, this is my body. Like, this is just it. And as you get older, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, when I was younger, I was so uncomfortable, so nervous, so grossed out by my own body, by what could happen, by what has happened, by the conversations I've heard of other guys talking and making fun of girls. Like, it really does discourage you. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like, I actually don't give a fuck. Like, this is it, baby. Like, this is like, take it or leave. I don't care. Like, I've became confident in myself, obviously, but at the same time, this is sex. These are our bodies. Like, this is just, like, the ass is meant for shitting, and we fuck there sometimes. And, like, that, like, what do you expect? What do you want? So if there's a little bit of shit on his dick, wipe it down, wet wipes. That's why I say to keep wet wipes and tissues and Kleenexes and like cleanly products near the bedside table or in the bedside table. Just keep that stuff there for not just sex, but like in general. It's always good to have, if he wants to go wipe his dick off, I highly recommend it with soap and water. If he wants to then have vaginal sex with you. To go from the butt to the vagina is not something you should be doing. And this is where sex ed really failed you guys. I made a video on this, again, emphasizing, anal, all that stuff. One of my like earlier videos. And you should not be doing that. You have to make sure it's clean because you can spread bacteria and you can create infection for the girl. So wear a condom as a man if you are uncomfortable and are nervous about that. Cleaning will be so much easier too. Never freak out if it happens. It's totally normal. If you want to have anal sex, that's what you're signing up for. The potential. Okay? So take it or leave it. You don't want to ever experience that. Don't ever have anal sex. Sorry. You can't have it all, buddy. You can't win in all areas here. There is a potential it will happen, and there's nothing wrong if it does. You clean it off like a big fucking boy. Like you wipe your own fucking ass on a daily basis, okay? And you move the fuck on. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to comment any requests you might have. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really does mean the world to me. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow my podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and hit the bell for the notifications so you never miss a beat. And I will speak to you guys very soon. Take care. Keep it clean. And don't be a fucking asshole. Bye.